Hello, and welcome to Magical Marker, a game of Dungeons and Dragons and Drawings. We're a group of illustrators and cartoonists who won't just be playing the game, but we're going to be drawing what happens along the way. And it's a PG-13 story of teens and tweens on their first big adventure on their own. Let's start with introducing our cast. This week we're going to surprise Joe. You're our guest. You go first.
Oh no, I'm
Who are you
Joe.
playing?
I'm Joe. I play Assam. I'm a druid. I have red hair. I was once a fox, but no longer. I'm trying to help them get through some tundra. Maybe befriend some bears or something. We'll see.
And how old is Assam?
Oh, I'm 16. Well, he's 16.
All right. Let's jump to Caitlin.
Hi, I'm Caitlin. I play Zip. She's a drow fighter and she's 16 years old.
And Priscilla.
Hi, I'm Priscilla. I play Sporiel, who is a 17-year-old half-elf bard.
And Boya.
Hello, I am Boya. I play Bug. He is a 12-year-old bugbear warlock. Yep.
And Matt.
Hi, I'm Matt. I play Swell, who's a 15-year-old Wataganasi cleric, worships the Tempest god Sunda, and I think he's okay now. I think he's okay with his god, but hey, we'll find out.
You've got to go through those dark days.
You question your faith.
And I'm your Dungeon Mancer, Brian, and I'm going to be doing all the NPCs, including Mog, who is Zip's Orc Rune Knight sister, who's 18 years old. Last week, you guys traveled to the Tririme. Well, you have been to the Tririme for a while. And you're looking for the final resting place of Lampres Livingsteel, the artificer who built a 5-person mech that may let you face the chimeric titan that holds your mentors captive. Along the way, you've made friends with a druid named Assam, who is guiding you across Caribou Run, where you've been attacked by icy spectral monsters. The sun here is so bright, reflecting off of the ice and snow, that it's difficult to see your attackers in the early morning. One has been driven off with a turn undead. The other one has surrounded by the party's melee makers. That's where we join in today, at the top of the round, where Assam can close in and strike with advantage with his shillelagh.
Oh.
But you don't have to.
Oh yeah, let's see. I'm probably gonna just... I don't really have any options. I'll just produce flame. Close range. So that is a 4. Oh wait, actually, I have to roll. Uh-oh. 11 doesn't hit, probably.
11 is unfortunately a miss.
Alright, well then I'll just use my bonus action to shillelagh. And God. Oh boy.
You have advantage though.
Oh, I have
because-
advantage on both of these? Well, the first...
Well, you have advantage on the melee attack, not on the ranged attack.
Okay. Well, that's better. Okay. So that is a 20 to hit.
20 is a hit.
Okay.
I think you're flanking with Mog, and Zip is flanking with Swell.
Ooh, max damage. Alright, a 12 for my shillelagh.
It is... Is that considered a magical weapon? I think it is, because it comes from a spell.
Yep, it
Alright.
is.
You strike into this icy monster, and you can feel its, like a spray of winter mist coming up in your face. But it's also kind of like striking through nothing, like your arm sort of wavers and wiggles as it goes through it because it's not quite there. It's partly wind and hate.
Oof.
It is its turn to do its lair action because you're currently in its space. And it is going to do... Let's see which one. It's going to make everybody within 15 feet of it. So I think that's all of you. East Boreal, are you far enough away, 15 feet? I think you probably are. So everybody
No,
other than...
he moved up to cast Cure Wounds on Swell last turn.
Oh, okay. So everybody within 15 feet needs to make a Con DC 13.
Okay.
I'm 30 feet away.
That's right.
You are?
Yeah.
Like, I thought you... Somebody...
Dude, back off. That's
Oh, yeah,
right.
you're right. Sorry, Mog is the other one. That's up there.
I failed.
Got a natural
So
one.
Anybody who got lower than 13 is going to take 10 cold damage. Anybody who got 13 or above gets half of that, so it's only 5. So Mog takes 10.
Does anything happen on a natural one?
No, I mean, you can describe it if you want to make it a little more flavorful. That
I try to take the brunt of it to shield one of my companions, but I'm just too late in getting my shield up and take the full force of it. And I had 3 hit points left, so I go down.
Well,
It's very shaking.
you
Wasted a spell slot on you.
you knew you were gonna go down anyway, so you
Yeah.
you try to sacrifice yourself.
And with that, it is East Boreal's turn after its lair action.
Esporial. And he nudges Swell in the ribs a little bit roughly with his toe and cast Cure Wounds first level on him. And say, look, I thought your skill was thicker than that. And that is 12 hit points back to you.
Thank you.
Well,
All right, you feel the warmth and energy return to you.
And yeah, and then he's going to look toward he's gonna look toward Assam and be like, look, if you're going to stick around, at least make yourself of some use and hit the dang thing. And you have a bonus inspiration or a bardic inspiration.
That was inspiration? Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not next to. Am I in melee range of this guy?
You could be. You could be on one of the corners.
I would like to not be, so I'm basically just, I want to know if I'm going to take an opportunity attack if I back away.
You will not take an opportunity attack if you back away because you're behind Swell.
Okay, I will back away then.
Maybe
The
it
braves
was
are Robin
Isparilla
ran
that was
away.
trying to shield.
Yeah.
Did Isborial make the save?
No.
Ah, sorry, it wasn't even effective.
Yeah.
It's the thought that counts.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he'll back up like I don't know. Did he have a good sense of what the range of that effect was? That freezing cold.
Give me a perception check.
Oh, that was a natural 20.
Yeah, you think, this is probably about 15 feet.
He's gonna back away 20 feet.
All right.
That'll
And
be
with-
for me.
And with that, we're going to go to Swell, who is lying on the icy floor.
Okay. Oh, no, my magical weapon doesn't go away, does it? It's not concentration.
Nope, your spiritual weapon is still there.
Spiritual weapon, sorry. Spiritual weapon. Okay, I guess I'll use half my movement to stand up. And then I will cast Cure Wounds on myself. Is anyone else looking bad? Or have I taken the brunt of the damage?
You've taken...
I've got points to spare.
Yeah.
I have 1/3. I have 1/3 health, but I am farther away now.
Oh, right. Okay, you're further away. So yeah, I'll cast Cure Wounds on myself. my hit points up a little bit. And I
God, they were
regain
wearing
another.
sunglasses.
Sorry?
I forgot they were wearing sunglasses.
And then I'll use my bonus action to bring the spiritual weapon up and attack.
All right.
Oh, spiritual weapon. Oh my goodness. Another natural 1. I'm not using that dice again.
All right. You're still too shook, maybe, from having just been raised from the ground, where you're sort of like, spiritual weapon, yeah, come over here. And, you know, your focus isn't 100% on being able to connect with it.
But yeah, that's my turn.
Bog, you're up next.
I will cast my Eldritch Blast. So I will roll. Oh no, 2 + 5, 7. 7 will hit.
That's going to be a miss. Anything you want to do for a move or a bonus?
No, I'll stay. I'm gonna move to 50 feet away.
All right, even further away from the healer. And then
That's fine.
it is its turn.
Wait, can I? Oh, no, it's fine. Never mind.
You get an action, don't you?
That was the Eldritch Blast, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So then it's going to make its attack now. What's your armor class, Swell?
19.
It is a hit. It wants you to stay down. That is going to be 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19,
Jeez Louise.
20, 21, 22, 27.
Stop counting.
Jesus, really?
27, and then
Okay,
you need to
I'm dead. I'm down
Alright.
again.
make a Constitution saving throw.
No, I fail. What other bad
Alright.
stuff happens to me?
When you awake, you will have 14 less maximum hit points.
Oh, cool.
And
How long
then
does that last?
you don't know.
Oh,
So that ends its turn. So it was a very brutal turn on one of you, but the rest of you are fairly uninjured by that. So it is Zip's turn.
So I'm gonna attack it. I have advantage, right?
You certainly
Because I'm
do.
flanking.
Yep. Flanking with Swell.
No,
Oh,
not with
Swell's
Swell.
down.
Oh yeah, Swell just went down.
Can I
So-
move to flank with somebody else?
Well, right now Joe is flanking with Mog. Bug isn't around, and Esporial isn't around.
Okay. Well, I missed it. So I guess that's the end of my turn.
Okay.
Actually, can I go over to Swell? I know that he has potions in his like.
No, leave me down. I'm just
thing
gonna.
like that.
I mean, you're taking up its action
I don't know.
by going up and down, I guess.
I guess that's true. All right. Well, that's it then.
All right. So with that ending your turn, we're going to go to Mog, who is going to attack and hit 2 times. And our damage is... Assam, you're going to be on deck. You're going to be up after I calculate Mog's damage.
Yep. Swell, what's your points at?
Oh, I'm down.
You're down completely?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see. Mog rolls a 1 and a 2. on her 2 attacks for her damage, so that's not a lot, but she gets to add her strength. And yeah, Sam, what are you doing?
I'm going to cast, since I know literally none of my other spells will function aside from a cantrip, I'm going to cast Cure Wounds at level 2 on, wait, I'm going to run up to how far from Swell?
I'd be like within 5 foot.
Yeah, with 5 feet,
Yeah.
like you're just basically
Yeah.
reaching diagonal.
I'm going to, 2d8. Yeah. That's 6 plus, that's 10.
Sorry, I love hipster bug. It's my favorite.
The rest of is
Oh, sorry,
to go
Joe.
back.
What was
What?
that? What'd you say? You were kind of cutting in and out there.
Okay, I gave you 10 points of health, and then so I used my first movement of 5 feet to get to him. I will use what my next set of movement to get back to the spectral thing to hit it with Shillelagh.
Yeah, you don't really need to move. Like you're just diagonally.
Oh,
You can
I'm just
reach
right
out and
next to
touch
him.
Swell from where
Okay,
you are.
cool. All right, that is definitely gonna hit. That's a nat 18. I'm probably gonna hit plus like what 6. That's 20. 24.
Priscilla, you had a question about how Shillelagh was used. I kind of missed what it said. I couldn't read your handwriting.
Yeah. I think when you cast it as a bonus action, that doesn't allow you to make an attack with it. It just makes it magical, doesn't it?
So he's had the Shillelagh out. So the question is, he doesn't get to make an attack and cast Cure with it. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. I think the bonus action is just making the weapon magical, and then you make an attack, like a regular attack with it.
So each turn you want to use it, you can't cast a spell. So because you cast a spell this turn, you can't use the Shillelagh.
I mean, it's a cantrip, so, but yeah, I mean, casting it as bonus action doesn't actually make an attack.
Right, so he's already had it as a bonus, like he had it for a couple rounds ago, but this round he spent his round healing.
Well, it lasts a minute, which is 10 rounds.
So you still have a magic Shillelagh, but this round it's in your hand while you're focused on Swell.
Yeah.
You don't get a chance to strike it because you're too focused on Swell and trying to dodge out of its attacks.
But it's not concentration. It automatically like makes the Shillelagh a magical weapon.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
if
I'm just saying
you
you don't get to make bonus attacks. You don't get to make attacks with the bonus action.
Oh, because it's an action to
Oh, I
make
see.
an attack with it.
Oh, and it's an action to make an attack. I see. I see.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying. All right, that's fine. Well, I don't have another action. I'm just gonna stand in front of Swell, so he doesn't get hit again. How's about
Okay.
that?
Thank you.
and that will put us at its turn to do a lair action. For its lair action, it's going to... It makes a frosty sort of emanate around it, and it goes like 30 feet away from it. So everybody within 30 feet feels a chill. So I think that's everybody except Bug. You're not hurt by this, but you're felt cold. There is another thing that happened, but you won't notice it until you maybe you'll never notice it. Depends on what you do during your turn, because it's made you a little shaky, everyone. Then it is Esporial's turn.
Seeing as Swell has stood up, Esporial just shakes his head again and then narrows his eyes at the ghostly thing, and yeah, I think he's just going to say, this is oh no, I have no brain right now. Is that all you can think to do? Just hit and hit and hit, and you have no style or grace. I guess I shouldn't expect anything more better with me up in this uncivilized place. And he's going to vicious mockery.
All
So
right.
it wasn't 15 save.
I need you, because you're casting a spell, to make a Constitution saving throw to see if you can focus on your words enough to be able to cast it.
That is a 6.
A 6. So you're going, you're so, and are just like chilled and are unable to get the words out to cast anything this turn. You still have a bonus or a move?
Then he is going to back away a little more to 35 feet away.
Okay. And that ends your turn and goes to Swell's turn.
Alright. Can I use my action to combat roll away and disengage?
Absolutely.
Cool. And then I'll use half my... Once I'm out of striking distance, use my half my movement to stand up, the rest to move further away. And then the action to dash and move outside of its range and then outside of its area of effects. And once I feel safe, I'll use my bonus action to attack it with my spiritual weapon.
Okay. So in order to do that, I want to know, are you running towards Bug and Espurial or away from Bug and Espurial?
It's hard to say without a map. I'd probably try to split focus, probably go away from them.
Sure. You can do whichever. There's not one that's easier or harder. It's just whether you wanted to split focus or be closer to the healers or what you wanted to do.
Oh, I think it would be not directly opposite from them, maybe like at almost like an angle away from them. If the fight is the epicenter and they've kind of gone up that way, I'd go off like
a 33-degree angle.
Yeah.
Sure. All right. Does that end your turn and we can go to Bug?
No, I have to make my attack roll with my spiritual weapon.
Yeah, that's right.
That's going to be a dirty 20.
That's a hit.
And 1d8 plus 3. Oh, so that's 11 points of damage from the
That's pretty good.
spiritual weapon.
Your hammer smashes through the icy snow, and it is Bug's turn.
I'm gonna do my Eldritch Blast, and
Alright.
I got 19 to hit.
You need to make a Constitution saving throw to see whether you actually can cast this turn. Oh no, you were far enough away. You
was
don't have
outside
to.
of-
Sorry.
He was out of range.
Yeah. Sorry.
Oh.
So you got 19 to hit, which is a hit.
and
and-
10 damage.
10 damage. That's great. So, Bug, you're watching this thing shimmer and move around, and you've gotten far enough back where you're like, okay, I can adjust your sunglasses so you can see a little better. Swell gets out of the way, and Assam changes positions with him, and you're like, oh, I've got a clearer shot now. Now! And you shoot it, and it explodes in a frosty burst and covers everyone in snow and ice, and it is dead.
Yay. Wow.
Oh,
There you go.
Very nice.
Exactly the number you needed. 10 hit points
Wow,
left.
really? That's
So,
good.
good job.
That's the highest number to hit too. It's a D10. Wait, is the sun no longer a problem, or is it still like?
It is still... the sun is still annoying. Yeah. It doesn't seem as shiny as it was before, but your eyes are still bothered.
Oh,
We're not in turn-by-turn combat anymore, so everybody's free to jump in with whatever you want to be doing.
is everybody okay?
I immediately fall to the ground into the soot and cough up some blood.
Oh no.
Oh no. I mean, I can cast another Cure Wounds on you.
I actually think there's something wrong with me. I think it did something. I feel even weaker.
Oh no. Can I make it? Can I make
Have
a?
I heard?
Can I make a medicine check? To check.
You can make a medicine check.
Have I heard of anything like
Get
this?
the hell out of here. A 1. I got a nat 1.
You're like, it's not a tummy ache. I don't know. Maybe he ate something funny. You can do an Arcana check. Is that what you're asking for, or a history check?
Arcana check. I got an 18.
18. Yeah, you know that because he was able to turn it, it seems like it's probably some sort of undead, and you know some undead can drain life force, and if you have a chance to rest as a gifted person, you'll probably be able to shake it off, but until you've had a long rest, it would require some sort of special restoration spell in order to regain those injuries, to heal those injuries.
It's just the same thing as when you stay out too late. So
It's like hungover.
you just need to shake it off.
Oh.
Swell doesn't drink.
Well, I mean,
Oh,
it's basically the
hungover
fantasy
from
equivalent of
fighting.
kombucha, which is slightly alcoholic, but he thinks he gets drunk off it. No,
Hey,
he's been drinking
I've actually
beer.
gotten slightly tipsy off kombucha, so I have 0 tolerance, basically.
Does Sunder have like sacrificial or sacrament that you have to
I've-
do in the church?
I've been drinking ale when we've been going to taverns and stuff. I think it's
okay.
Zip's bad influence on. But he'll say, all right. Well, actually, first of all, do you share any of that information?
He just said that. I think, yeah, he just said, I think if you just have a little bit of a rest, should be fine. At least based on what I've heard from my aunt.
I'm going to use some of my better magic against my judgment, but well, if we're going to sleep before we go in, I think I'm going to need to rest before we go into the tomb. Alright.
Well, I don't think we're going to make it in the rest of today anyway, as it is.
is it? What time is it?
It's like morning, isn't it? It's like we got like not even half the day.
Yeah, it's been a couple hours. I forgot to say something. On your, you got a low roll there, Assam, on your medicine check. But something you did notice is that Swell's pupils are huge. Basically, there's no iris.
Oh. Yeah, there's something funny up with his eyes, guys. I'm no medicine doctor, but
Swell isn't wearing glasses or anything, is he?
Yeah, and when you look around at the others, everybody else's eyes are also hugely dilated as well.
Oh.
interesting.
Wait, and your eyes are Assam's eyes are like that too?
Yeah, Assam's eyes are like that. Boxy's eyes are like that.
Poxy has eyes now, I guess.
That's true.
Cat.
He just has that really cute, like, Puss in Boots thing where his eyes are.
Wait, is Swell still wearing that ring, by the way?
Yep.
I'd forgotten all about that.
What's the ring?
The person that we killed. The undead.
yeah.
That crawling on the
Who's
ceiling,
whispering?
dead branch thing.
Is
Just keep
Swell still
going
on
and
her?
maybe take a bit of a breather and then keep walking on over those ice. I kind of find myself in the mood to be under some cover when we stop for the night.
I agree.
I think we need to get off this lake as soon as possible.
That works too.
I think there's something
Okay.
funky out
Well, maybe we should just close our
Let's
eyes
get
and run.
Can
Maybe we
I
should
make
each
a
take
medicine
turns.
check?
here, leading the other people. So only one person has to have their eyes open at a time.
Does somebody not have glasses?
Swell does not have glasses.
I will druidcraft a vine, like the little peeper like I have on myself for him.
That's not really doing much though. Like
It-
everyone's still feeling the effects.
Oh, yeah,
The
I
goggles,
guess.
they do nothing.
Yeah, you guys what should have been striking at disadvantage. I forgot all about that. But the
God.
fact that you guys had advantage. It's all right. It doesn't really matter.
Can I make a medicine check to see if I know what's going on with our eyes?
Sure.
That sounds pretty weird. That is an 18.
There is no medical reason why your eyes would be doing this. This is something supernatural. Some sort of supernatural effect that is associated with the creatures you were just fighting. Like, they sort of arose around the same time, whether it's somebody who's working with them or whether it's something they created. Even if you've slain them, it doesn't necessarily mean that their effects would have just immediately end. It's not like your irises would go zoop. So, they may slowly go back, just like when you put eye drops in.
Do I think this is an effect on us or like in the area? Just on that.
You think it's an area of effect that you are all under?
They were the ghosts of dead optometrists. They're just like, do your annual eye checkup. Sensitization.
What are they doing on this lake? I guess they were just on vacation.
Yeah.
Well, we do feel better
Ski resort.
now, right? Like, after killing the creatures. So maybe it will just go away if we continue forward.
Yes, let's continue forward.
All right. Who's leading the way?
I'll
Guess.
lead.
Oh.
I'm
So I was
anxious to get
going
off
to
this
try and
lake.
put his arm around whoever lets them and use them as a support.
Mog is happy to do that.
Wait,
She's
does
quite
anyone-
large.
Wait, do you guys have like free heals? Like spells?
I have a bunch of cure wounds that I could be spending. I mean, I have a bunch of spell slots left, and I have cure wounds.
Oh.
So,
Can you cure
Short
wounds?
rest at some point.
Cure my wounds?
But
do you have wounds that need to be cured,
Yeah.
Mr. Bug?
Yeah.
Okay, I cured them. How bad are they? They looking rough?
They're like 15.
Yeah, 15. I'll just. Actually, I'm gonna cure it.
Missing 15.
I'm gonna cure it at level 1 just because I have some level 2 slots that I think we'll need actually right now.
Okay.
Oh wait, this is a D4? Wait, D4 or D8? Oh, D8. 4 plus 8 points.
Okay. Thank you.
We're walking. We're trying to. Are we walking still? By the way.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to cast Pass Without a Trace so that we don't deal with other stuff, just in case.
Okay.
In that case, should we make stealth checks? Are we trying to move stealthily?
We're
Let's
still
slow us down.
because we're moving still, right? I mean, we only moved for like half the day, so
Less than half the day. You've only moved for like 2 hours.
yeah. And we don't want. I don't know if we necessarily want to stop right now, but we also don't want to get into another fight, obviously, right? So
Yeah.
just on the off chance, I just want to do this just so that we don't we're not noticed. At least we have a better chance. So that's a plus 10 to dexterity stealth checks for everyone.
So should we make stealth checks? Do we want to move stealthily?
If you move stealthily, you're going to be moving at half your speed.
Yeah.
Wait, how does this work? So if we move normally, does this still work?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't. It just because no matter what, we're probably gonna have to make a stealth check. But if we're moving stealthily, obviously, like it probably lowers the DC. Am I right in saying that?
No, it just
No.
gives us a plus 10 to our stealth checks, and the spell
Oh.
only lasts for an hour. So,
Yeah.
if you're going to cast it now, we should use our stealth, or unless you want to like save it until a time when it.
I'll cast. You know what? We'll have it up just to get across this lake. Because we're
Okay.
still like midway through the lake, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's where these things are attacking things. So it
Yeah.
might be a domain type situation, or maybe this is like their lair or something. And at least maybe this would let us get through most of the lake, or I'm not sure
Yeah.
how much of the lake. But obviously, like it'll at least give us another hour's worth of trekking without necessarily with an advantage of not getting noticed. At least, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, and I can cast it one more time. I only have one more second level slot, so. All right. So that's an extra 10. So we're gonna move stealthily. I mean, how far do you think it would take before we get to the edge of the lake?
Probably another couple hours if you're traveling without stealth, or like 2 hours without stealth, 4 hours with stealth.
So if we move, basically, if we move at normal speed, it's as if we're moving at stealth with my pass without a trace. Is that right or no?
You have to make
We-
stealth checks to benefit from pass.
Oh, okay. Well,
So
but just
I
because.
I think it's a good idea. I think we should do it.
Okay, but question: if we you could still have to make a stealth check even if you're not necessarily being you could walk at a normal speed and still have to make a stealth check. No, is that not right?
It's
No,
possible
if
that
you-
I could ask for one, but it's less likely. I mean, I can have you make one if somebody is trying to
Okay.
spot you, but if you're not making one actively, then it's probably pretty easy to spot you.
Okay.
The only thing
Okay.
that's really going to hinder is the rate of movement that we have right now.
Yeah, that's basically what I'm trying. I just want to see if it's more, because then we only gain half the ground, right? But then we also get the benefit. Well, all right. I guess we'll have to move at stealth if I cast this. So
yeah, that's fine. It's just
I mean-
like an hour, right?
And
We'll just be
like,
careful for the next hour.
24.
Oh, 24 hours? You said?
What? Oh no, I was just saying my stealth check is 24. Pass.
My stealth check would be 19.
Are you wearing that plate mail? Just
Where? Breastplate. Yes. But
is
it
it
doesn't
with?
say I have disadvantage on stealth.
Um,
23. Wait, plus
Okay.
10, right?
yeah. I got a 20.
right.
14 for me.
and Mog gets a 21 with disadvantage. So pretty much everybody was in the 20s. So you guys as a group are moving quite silently and effectively across this field of ice that is covered somewhat by snow. Over the next 10 to 15 minutes, your eyes start to get back to normal. The pupils are no longer extremely dilated. The sun is still reflective and irritating, but nowhere near to the extent it was earlier. You feel like you've traveled safely out of the realm of those particular creatures, whatever they were. And you travel on, seeing no footprints or anything of any creature that seems particularly interesting. In the distance, eventually you see some birds flying. So you've seen a little bit of wildlife.
Birds flying, you say?
Yep.
Can I call them over?
They're pretty far away.
God damn it. You think if I made a bird call, I'd get their attention? No, they're too far.
I mean, it's like one of those, I don't know, it depends on how loud you want to be.
Oh,
Yeah, we're
never
supposed to be
mind.
stealthy.
Never mind.
Shout.
I didn't mean that. I didn't say that at all.
That's a trap. That's what that is.
Yeah, that's. I can't help it. They're my friends. Okay, so after the hour, we're still on the
You're still on the lake?
but we're at least the feeling is being cleared up a little bit. So I guess whatever, right? So whatever
Yeah,
was going on was in that space.
Like our eyes are fine now.
Yeah, like they're not magically annoyed, they're just annoyed.
Okay.
It's still like very reflective white surfaces that you guys are facing. If you remember, you were going to get about halfway through the day before snow was supposed to start.
Oh, that's right.
And so around about, you travel for an extra couple of hours, and you're still not all the way across the lake yet, and the snow starts coming down.
Oh no. Okay.
Did you guys stop doing stealth after an hour after the spell wore off?
Yeah.
Oh.
I think so, once it felt like we were out of whatever effect that thing was.
Okay. So yeah, you probably still have another hour to, get across the lake, and the snow's starting to gently fall. It's not a blizzard or a snowstorm, whatever, but the sky is now starting to turn like gray with clouds, giving you some relief from the shininess of the sunlight on the bright ice patches. I was trying to draw the new Pokemon starter as Boxy with the giant eyes.
Which one? Where?
The cat.
Oh, the cat. Oh, yeah.
But his mouth is full of stuff.
420 cat. Yeah.
And yeah, you think you're now across. It's been another hour of traveling through this snow. You're starting to trudge with your snowshoes. You're having to lift them up a little higher to get through the snow that's fairly fresh because it's coming down. But it's, again, a very gentle snow. And you had a good berry this morning, so you don't need to stop to eat, but you probably need to stop to use the bathroom and stuff. And you keep going through the lunch hour, basically, because you don't need to stop. And the snow's getting a little bit stronger, and it's a little harder to walk across the snow when it's so fresh. It's easier to travel across when it's packed, so it's a little more tiring. But you make it most of the way. I'm going to pull the map up here if I can. I should pull it up to the top layer. Oh, somebody already has. You make it basically to the edge of the... You can see the Horn Woods not too far away from you before the sun is... Like, you've done your 8 hours of travel and your legs are feeling tired. You can push yourself longer. You'll start to make exhaustion checks if you want to go beyond the 8 hours of travel.
Do we want to try and make it?
If we,
to
the Horn Woods.
Wait, did we say it was safe
Yeah, I
in the
think we
woods?
should at least try and get off the lake.
Yeah, you're off
We're
the
like
lake.
at this point if we can see it, but
Oh, okay.
So
yeah,
you're
we're next
yeah.
to the Hornwoods.
Is the
Hold on.
Hornwoods the safe?
We made it from Black Buck down the bottom left.
Yeah.
To like on Perch Lake, and then
Yeah.
okay.
And today you traveled slower because you were dealing with the fresh snow and also dealing with the hour of stealth. So you're probably about... because you didn't want to go into the woods as far as I understood. Let's see if I can draw on this layer here. It's not letting me for some reason. I'm going to create a new layer. Oh, here we go. You're probably like around here.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
And so we can see the woods, like it's
Yeah.
reachable.
I mean, you can see the dark wood as well, but I assumed the hornwood was the one you guys would be more likely to want to go towards.
at least less ominously named one, depending on how you feel about horns.
So
Yeah, if you were killed,
Are
if your
they-
parents were
are they
killed by a
safe?
minotaur.
those woods, are those woods relatively safe?
You know that the Hornwoods should be. They're more animal based and less ghosty based.
They should be okay. Well,
Ghost Woods is the next one.
they should be. I'll preface it by saying they should.
I vote the woods, but I could
Yes,
also
let's
just
go.
collapse right now.
Let's just sleep on the edge of it. So we're not disturbing any of their homes in the deeper.
Yeah, we
session.
don't have to go too deep into the woods.
Okay, let's. I guess we should set up our tent here.
Is Swell going to build an igloo again?
Oh, so are we going to the woods, or are we gonna stay away from them?
We're going in, but just the tip.
Just the tip, okay.
Like there's like 2 trees in front of us, and then it's outside the field.
I
Far
can
enough to
build one.
find a little clearing.
Might be harder
Yeah.
now that we're in the woods. Maybe we should just set up the tent. We
Yeah.
have big blocks of ice to build from.
Okay. Yeah, we got those fancy tents. We should use.
I'll collect some firewood and get a fire going.
There isn't any firewood. That's something that, because you need dry wood. It's all snowy and stuff. But it is specifically something that Assam said that he would pack
Yeah.
and carry with him.
I'd keep a bunch of. There's a lot of nice woods that stay dry, so I'd probably bring them along in my little satchel. At least the starting tinder at the very least, and plus I think I have a fire starter kit, just in
Split
case.
The wood to
Also, you
get to
have produce
the.
flame.
But I mean, yeah, I also have
Right.
druid crafting, so it's not like. Okay. Yeah. So we can get a fire going really easily.
You guys get a fire going. There are some tents that are put up. You're in the middle of snow-packed or snow-peaked fir trees. There are a few fallen ones and a few that have been stripped. Are probably had some sort of bug infestation within them or something. But mostly you're in a very healthy forest. And you're prepare yourself successfully for the evening without any sort of aggression or anything from any other type of animal.
Good.
Do you have a sleeping schedule again?
Well,
I guess Squirrel will take first watch.
then I'll take second watch, because
Yeah, wake me up when my turn.
before we go. Okay. Wait, no. Well, we only need 2, because
Yeah, you need
I-
a full 8. I'll take a watch if we need an extra
Oh,
one.
I gotta help. I gotta help.
I mean,
The
is
rest.
Boreal just needs 4 hours, and I only need 4 hours, so there's no real need.
And zip.
I
Oh,
need
yeah.
4 hours too.
So
Alright, but
You
if
can
there's
help
any-
by getting up to full health and not just taking ghost claws to the face every time.
but it's all I'm good at.
Get better at fighting.
I'm pretty good at that. But I can take a punch. Or a claw.
Hey, you scared one of those guys off.
Not for long. You guys like look
He
it
didn't
down,
come
and as
back.
he's talking, he's like just laying his head down and falling asleep.
Oh, you made that one turn and run.
And he's out.
he just sleeps. No problem.
Right. So while you're sort of hanging out, you're not ready. I mean, Swell is clearly able to fall asleep right away, but the rest of you, you have a chance to hang out a little bit before you fall asleep. And during this time, Zip, you are going to receive a message in your head from your buddy,
What's she up to?
Sutran, and she says, "Things are going well. got beat up a lot, but, we're okay. Hope you're doing well. Let me know.
I'll reply, I'll say, hey, Sutran, currently crossing icy lakes, but we're also okay.
And you also get a message from Sister Sweet Tooth again. And this one will go to East Boreal saying, Bookworm would like to meet when you have a moment. Is there a good time or place?
Didn't we already get that message? Or something similar?
You did, but you
Is she
didn't
saying
really give a great response to it. She got we're kind of busy, or I don't know, maybe, or something. It was like wasn't something that gave her a good concrete plan of action.
Oh. Still busy. You can come until time, maybe.
All right. And Eastboro, you also get one from your father who says, I sent the money. Anything else you needed?
Information on that disgraced cousin. Thank you, Papa. There's like a long silence, and when it seems like it's almost done, he adds out to the end.
He would have said, what specific information do you want?
What is his strengths, his weaknesses? How do we kill him?
Does he have a favorite flavor of ice cream?
What does he hate most? What's the most irritating earworm song that he hates? What does he want, and why did he leave?
So there's.
Do you know his yeah. Well, I guess what does he want covers that, but yeah.
So there's a bit of time before you hear another response. He's bought a bunch of these scrolls to be able to do this in case he needs to talk to you, and says he wants to create art that moves people. It was a real jerk. He left because nobody liked him and thought he was too provocative, that nobody got him.
What was his name? How is it I've never heard of him?
I feel like I might have given you his name already. Let me see.
Oh. What was it?
I'm going to use Control F. Why am I doing this? So what's your last name, Eastboreal?
I said, it's Igraine.
Okay.
Bad news, better news. But
Aldowin.
yes.
Igraine Aldowin is his name.
Okay, then I guess just the why have I never heard of him.
He is in a family of secrets. He is our greatest secret, even to us. Our shame. Disrespectful. Don't want you to grow up like him. Something like that.
When he gets that, it's really just makes an insulted, huh? And then says, well, clearly not talking about him didn't stop him from doing things. We're still going to have to stop him. If you know anything... I probably ran out of words at this point. I wasn't keeping track. If you know anything to stop, and then I'll just say it cuts off there.
All right. And with that, I leave it to you guys if you want to do any more discussion before the night ends.
Hmm. I don't think so.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to go to bed now.
Yeah, I'll go to sleep as well. Well, I'm going to meditate for 4 hours.
All right. So the Esporil, you're on first watch. Can you give me a perception check?
Yes. And while he is doing this, he is also going to take a short rest and heal himself a little bit.
Okay.
Perception check. That is a 14.
14. All right. During the night, you hear some noises of some small animals, but nothing that seems threatening. If anything, it's more reassuring to hear that there are chipmunks and squirrels and little birds that might be traveling about. Yeah, nothing else happens that you notice. And next is Assam. You're taking the next watch.
Mm-hmm.
Can you give me a perception check?
Uh, 13.
13. Yeah, same sort of thing. You don't notice anything special, just that, yeah, it's a living forest with, you know, it's a little more alive than the areas that you've traveled to in the last little bit. And everybody wakes up. You've had a long rest. During the night swell, you had some bad dreams, so you don't really remember them. But you didn't sleep particularly well.
Okay. Do I get all my hit points back?
All your hit points come back.
Look at that.
Second day, same as the first. So, if we... He's looking at the map. So if you go across this lake, in the middle of it, we should be able to avoid both the Ghost Woods and the Tooth Woods. Whatever it's called.
Lake.
So all the days travel today.
Usually.
I'll bring the map up again.
The Candle Lake?
Yeah.
Oh, we still have to go
we might
through the
not even
woods
get
now.
that far. But we
Yeah,
need to
I
go
mean-
to Dark Needle. But
Good. Should make it quicker, actually.
Alright. Because
should-
we're... Oh. Go
What
ahead.
should make it quicker?
Going through the woods. Less
Cool.
snow fall on the ground and that type
oh,
of
we
thing.
are on the Hornwood side, right? Okay.
So you'll get a little bit of time through the Hornwoods, but if you want to save time by going through the Ghost Woods, it definitely would be faster.
Well, we can just go through that little gap over there right before the Ghost Woods, where they touch the Candle Lake, and go through a little bit of Ghostwood.
Go to the edge of it.
Yeah, between the woods and the lake. 1 foot on the lake, the other foot in the woods.
I could try to befriend an animal and help it have it guide us to safe
yeah.
areas.
That sounds good. Yeah.
Now that we're around more animals, I could probably do that. Yeah,
But
they'll be my friend for 24 hours. So
nice.
What type of animal are you on the lookout for?
something Something fairly large. I don't want to choose.
Oh, like a bird.
Yeah, maybe a bird might be the best option. Yep.
So you could find. Let's see. Let's see if you can find something. Give me a survival check.
Okay. Uh, 14.
14. You find some owl pellets on the ground and look around and find an owl in a tree who's just sort of. I guess they're sort of crepuscular, awake at dusk and dawn, so it's probably fairly close to dawn. Might still be awake.
I'm going to go up to it, and I'm going to they eat mice, but I'll cast animal friendship. Should be I'll hold up, oh God, like some seeds. Hopefully, like it doesn't. They don't eat seeds, but I don't have any.
We'll
It's
probably
okay.
have some jerky in Boxy.
Oh, do you guys have any like meat stuffs?
Yeah, we probably have some dried meat.
Okay, because I need a morsel of food. Probably what it wants. Okay, and then it'll be magic-y. It'll be a little ephemeral, and then I'll put my hand up and cast animal friendship.
All right. Do I make a saving throw?
If it has an intelligence of 4 or higher, the spell fails. Otherwise, you must succeed a wisdom saving throw or be charmed. It's 14.
All right. The owl does not seem interested in your treats.
Why is this?
Look, you.
Can I try to use my ring to help us move a bit quicker through the day?
Sure. If you want to take lead.
If you guys don't mind, I can get a bird's eye view with the ring that I was given.
Do you need to? Because I can wild shape into a bird if that's necessary.
So gameplay wise, it gives me advantage on my survival checks. It's called a bird's eye view.
Oh, okay.
Ring of bird's eye. I can't remember what it's called. I have it.
Yeah, it's a minor magical item I gave to Swell to start the adventure.
Cool.
So, Swell, if you want to lead, you can roll with survival to see whether you can lead people safely through the Hornwoods, safely and quickly through.
Okay.
Oh, and did you want to start the day with a druid craft?
Yes. That's. I will always start the day off just right with morning stretches and druid crafting.
All right.
Okay.
So, druid craft for the day, you check to see what the weather's going to be, and it is cloudy and windy and a little bit snowy.
Do you have any more of those good berries?
I do not. They only last 24 hours, so.
Oh, well, I guess we'll just eat regular food.
Oh, actually, that reminds me.
I thought good berries. Maybe
They only last 20. Like I have to have them as a spell slot, and then I can cast them. They last 24 hours, but I don't have to have necessarily the spell up anymore. They just last, and then after that, they just become regular berries with no benefit.
19 on my survival check.
All right, you make it quickly and easily through these woods. You find some animal tracks. You don't see any caribou, though. And you come out the other side and start traveling across the snow. And while you were in the woods, you didn't wear your snowshoes. You attach your snowshoes when you get through to the other side. And you're traveling across, trying to make your way to the Ghost Woods and the Candle Lake. And it's dark. overcast day, and the snow has had a chance to freeze overnight, so you're moving actually pretty good speed today. And you start to see some caribou tracks. Not a lot, but there are a few. And you get to, you've traveled for about 4 hours, and you're probably getting close to the western edge of the Ghost Woods. You're still south of it, but you're probably about there when you're starting to think about breaking for lunch. You guys break into your rations and sit down or stand up or whatever and have something to eat, and then you continue along your way. Still nothing that you see. Don't see anything scary or surprising. And you guys get to that place between the Ghost Woods and the Candle Lake, and you all have the feeling like you're being watched from the Ghost Woods.
Probably ghosts.
You don't see any ghosts. Make a perception check, actually. We'll see if you see anything. Maybe you do see ghosts.
Does Swell see anything?
14.
With your passive perception, you do not see something swell, even though it's very high. What is that?
14.
14. No ghosts.
Well, that's creepy. Should we step on the? Are we on is the Candle Lake also right there on the other side?
Yeah, you're right in that area.
How does it look? Does it look like just a peaceful, nice
Yeah, again, it seems like it's hard to really tell much about it unless the druid or cleric want to start doing some survival checks and try and investigate the snow-covered lake.
I can make a survival check.
Okay.
Please. Okay. 17.
17. This one isn't frozen through nearly as much as the other one. It's, for some reason, a warmer lake. And it's probably only maybe a foot thick. It's not like the really dense one that the other one was. It might get thinner as you go closer to the center.
I did prepare, but that would this reveal creatures like that? I feel like it wouldn't. Wait. Fairy fire doesn't it reveal invisible creatures, doesn't it?
In a certain area, so you pick a pocket and then you're like, is there anything there? And if they are, and they fail their saving throw, then you can see a glowing outline.
Interesting. But we don't even have a sense of where that is. We just feel like a general demure feeling or haunting.
You feel like
feeling.
you're being watched.
I can just start shooting off fairy fire.
Oh, that's right. Wait.
How many times can you do that?
I don't know.
I thought it was
How
like
many
once
times
per day
can I
or...
do it?
I think it's once per long rest.
Yeah.
If it's a
Oh,
racial
okay.
thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
We couldn't just walk along the edge of the lake. We don't have to go in the middle.
Oh yeah, once per long rest. I see. I found it.
With the feeling of being watched, this Will nervously takes out his mirror and checks his hair and head and it's Miavo's mirror also, but
You look great. No hair out of place.
as usual.
I mean, there's the wind has been blowing really hard, but still it's just makes it look more natural, like you meant to do it.
Well, it's a ghost woods, so maybe that's normal. Let's just keep going.
Let's keep going. The scénario the far away from Ghost we are, at least until we get to the tomb, I suppose.
So you make your way up across the Candle Lake, just along the edge of the Ghost Woods and the Candle Lake, and you start hearing voices from the Ghost Woods speaking. Does anybody speak Sylvan?
Actually, wait. Where would I?
Mine.
Yeah, I think I
Oh, I
might
do.
actually.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I speak Sylvan.
Surprisingly.
So those of you who speak Sylvan,
Oh, I
you
speak
hear.
Sylvan. Crazy.
All right.
Wow, the second most common second language, huh?
So 3 of you here. Beware. Beware.
Beware what? Beware
That's
what?
not very helpful if you're not going to be more specific. You should probably just keep your advice to yourself. That's like saying, oh, watch out after someone trips.
Hey, we're just trying to do you a solid.
Stay away.
You think they mean stay away from the woods? Or... Because, like, we were planning to, and I say that loud enough that it carries across. We weren't going to come in.
All right, you guys are at the base of the mountain now. It's pretty high looking above you, and the angle, I think, of the snowshoes are going to be uncomfortable. So at this point, you may have to take them off and put them on your backs or inside Boxy after you shake the snow out. He does not want snowy snowshoes in his back. And you guys start to ascend. Do you have any particular path that you want to go to, anywhere that you think you'd like to make your way to? You can draw
Like-
on the map.
Oh, interesting.
If you create a layer above it.
We don't
Oh,
really
can I-
know where the entrance is, do we?
No, you don't.
Oh.
You know it's nearer the top rather than at the base. But where, like...
Is there a pathway on the mountain, or do we just have to start rock climbing?
It's not like it's a pathway, it's basically just fields of snow. And trees.
What is the angle? 45 degrees?
Yeah, it probably is it varies from more of a gradual 30 to 45, somewhere in that range. And there are probably some places that are more cliff-like, but you can go around them by going up on the more gentler slopes. It looks like, if you get up high, there could be some more difficult climbing. Especially because Dark Needle goes to a very pointy tip. So
we're in here, right? And we're reaching this side, so we're gonna go this way, or
Oh,
No,
we're not
you're-
in
We're by the lake.
oh, we're by this right here.
yeah.
Like we reached the base.
Going to look at Swell and Assam and say, it seems if you have a way of getting up high or being a belt, this seems like a good place to get a bird's eye view, as it were, and to see if there's any paths visible or any structures we should be heading toward on the mountain.
Yeah.
I would like to wild shape into the owl that didn't want to give us help.
Wait, you don't have flight though yet.
Oh, that's right. I don't have flight. You are
Oh, no.
correct.
Wait, you can wild shape into an owl, but you won't be able to fly?
Wait.
Do you have flying
No.
friends that you can send?
You can turn into
no.
a penguin.
See, I'm not a circle of I'm not. Those are two different circle druids that would have that capability. I don't have that. Dang, you're right. I don't have flying yet. Ugh.
Wait, I have a potion of flying.
You probably you don't have swimming yet either, so you couldn't turn into a penguin.
No, I could turn into a squirrel and climb a tree, but I don't know how much that would help us.
Wait, no, wait. Oh, yeah, at 4th, still no flying speed.
Yeah, I'd have to be
you
a
can turn
circle
into something
moon.
that swims now, I think.
No,
Was it-
no.
6?
No,
That's-
it's 4th.
Oh yeah,
it's-
Oh,
fourth.
okay.
Fourth, I can swim, but I can't fly.
You could be a penguin.
What's a C? So it's what? CR
half.
half?
level?
Half? Could I turn into like a dolphin and swim and they get on my back and I ferry them back and forth, or like a seal, or
It's frozen, isn't it?
Yeah, you guys are across the lake and now you're at the bottom of this hill.
Yeah.
This
We're
is
already
fine.
at the mountain. We're not at
Yeah.
the lake.
But don't you have like flying friends, a bat or something?
No, that's a circle of the shepherd to summon.
Bug does.
Yeah, I
I'm
don't
asking Bug.
I have a bat.
Oh, you have a bat?
Yeah, I take
Oh,
on my
yeah,
bat.
that's
Look,
right.
here it is.
Yeah.
Surprised we're not using
Bat.
that right now.
Go to the top of the mountain.
But you just have
Wow,
a
that's
bat?
far, dude.
What the hell?
Oh, is it too far?
It's
You don't
gonna
want
take
to
a long
take it.
time to get up there. The very top? Okay. Bye.
Okay. See you later.
Sprill
He
watches
leaves.
it flutter off and then says, "So when do you think you'll be back?"
I don't know. It only lasts for an hour, so I guess.
We'll know within an hour, I guess.
Yeah, within an hour. I don't know. How long? I also
Why don't
have
we just
a
start
potion.
working our way up while the bat
Yeah,
is
well, we
flying?
can meet the
We
bat on
know
the
that
way.
we know that it's up,
Yeah.
so that's
Well,
one
I mean, how
direction
long
that
does
we
it-
can go.
How long do you think it will take to climb the mountain? I do have a potion of flying. I don't know if that is helpful. But that also only
Helpful to
lasts.
one person.
It's also equal to my walking speed for 1 hour. So I don't know.
Yeah, that sounds.
Maybe when we get to the top, I don't know. All right, let's just climb.
Right. Did you guys have a particular side you wanted to try?
Just the easiest. Just like no
Closest,
direction
yeah.
climbing.
Why don't we
Okay.
just kind of like zigzag up a little
Yeah,
bit?
zigzag. Whatever path is like easy to walk on.
Like
go
the
there.
Alright.
line. Zigzag.
General upward direction.
Sprill is making full
And then
use
when we get
of
up
full advantage of
closer,
the ring of jumping.
we can
We'll have
kinda
the
go
most
around.
athletic person be in the front,
All right.
which is
Not me.
Bog
100% not me.
or Zip.
what is like is
Log
it
and zip.
dexterity?
It's
or-
dex. Well, it depends on what type of athletic. Well, if it's athletic, then I think it's strength, right? And then if it's acrobatics, it would be dex. But yeah, I have a -1 to strength, so you don't want.
You want Mog going front and making the path, and then Zip taking over and switching back and forth, and you guys following in their footsteps.
Okay.
Whether they're going to
Mm.
be good at finding the path, you don't know, but strength-wise, they can do it.
Would a
who do-
swell maybe be the best?
Wait, do they have high dex?
Compromise between strength and ability to find ways?
I think I'm almost as strong as Zip in terms of
Okay.
ability score.
You're muted, Caitlin, if you're disputing
No,
that.
I don't think she was muted. She was just
No.
being as much.
Okay.
Well, are you dexterous?
I don't. Do we need dexterity for this?
No,
think it's
you need
athletics.
strength
Strength.
and wisdom.
Oh, strength.
Hold on.
yeah.
Can't
Yeah.
the
Swell
the
should
elf
definitely be first then.
the elves among us like just run across the top of the snow?
What do your elf eyes see?
Wait, who?
It's a Lord of the Rings joke.
Oh.
Yeah, I'll go up first. I'll run across the snow. I'm made for this. I'm drow.
I will
Alright.
use if I can, still use my ring to try and help us find the entrance at all. I'm not sure if it'll work like this, but maybe it sees something else I don't.
Okay. Give me a wisdom check for Zip and a wisdom or survival check for survival check for both of you, for Zip and Swell.
Okay. But I get
Got a
advantage because of the ring,
13.
right?
You do. What was that you said, Zip?
13?
13. All right. You're leading everybody up a fairly safe path.
18.
Do you want me to make an athletics check?
Sure.
That's 16.
All right. With the two of you working together to try and find a safe path, and Zip sometimes listening to Swell, you are able to make your way up to the top. And I saw the path that you guys were taking. And I saw two different people draw it. When you guys get to here. No, still not
I
drawing
didn't
on the
know
right layer.
people were drawing on there.
There, that dark spot there. I'm gonna
Mhm.
read you a description of what you see. And at this point, like, you've traveled all day long. Like, you are really tired. The sun is setting. And where are we here? I did write something, I think. I'm still down by where I'm telling you the orange-haired guy's name.
You see a giant ghost yeti.
Weaving between pine trees, you make your way to a large work stone cave opening, large enough to pilot a mech suit through.
Wow.
The frame of the opening is covered in ice, as is the slick path that leads deeper into the mountainside.
Is the opening shaped like a mech, like this?
It's like human size.
This is its hole. It was made for it.
Yeah. When you're piloting the mech, you have
It's
to,
like- it's like-
yeah, the path, exactly.
It's like the kindergartens in Steven Universe where they're all like specifically shaped. Yeah.
No, it is shaped with a regular sort of half circle, but it's got the stone around the outside of it, but it's all covered in ice.
All right. So, like, do we need to melt the ice to get through it? Is that what you're saying? Like, it's kind of a sheet of
No,
ice?
it's all coated with ice.
Right. Okay.
Oh,
Sorry.
okay. Wow, I
So
can't believe we found it.
And it is now, like, you guys are exhausted at this point. I mean, not exhausted. You guys are, like, very tired. So you could keep going and try and find your way in. And well, you don't have to find your way. You can go right in. Or you could try and plan a way to rest before you go in, depending on what you guys wanted to do.
It looks at the cave entry and then looks at like some of the copses of trees and says, I think you should sleep, have a good sleep, and then go in fully rested before we try whatever tomb or guardians will be in there.
I agree.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see by the entrance.
That always works out. Nothing is going to come out of this entrance while we're asleep.
Let's sleep in the trees away from the entrance. Do you remember when we would sleep up in the trees in the jungle? Are these big enough to do that?
They are tall enough to do that, but they are like pine trees, so and they're covered with snow.
The branches probably are not.
Yeah, they're not super stable.
Well, he'll just have his latest incarnation of Unseen Servant erect a tent underneath the shelter of pine tree boughs.
All right. And you guys are going to do the same sort of thing you did yesterday for order of sleeping and all that kind of stuff?
Sure.
Yeah, sure.
Do I need to know anything different about what you guys want to do?
I think before I go to sleep, I'm going to try to find another animal. Is there another animal in my area?
All right, give me a survival check.
Oh,
Yeah.
never mind. Did the bat come back?
Nope.
Oh,
I got a natural 1 plus 6, so
Oh,
but a nat 1. So
Yeah, there's no sign of animals around here.
as well.
I'm gonna. Oh, were you gonna say something, Joe?
Nah.
I'm gonna summon my bat again from the hat.
Hey!
Where? What happened?
I just disappeared.
Did you see anything?
I got pretty high up, but then I just disappeared.
Oh,
It's pretty windy today.
so you didn't see anybody or any animals or anything? Just
No,
okay.
Uh, yeah.
it's really cold out. That was really
Yeah.
unpleasant.
Yeah. Okay, you can go back to hat now.
Oh, this is much warmer. Thank you.
Maybe I cast. So in our space, how much space do we occupy per se? Like our campsite, would you say?
Well, I figure that, let's see, if somebody lying down is probably going to need at least, a 10-foot space. So how many people have you got? You've got 6 people at 5 feet or 10 feet. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The space would be 10
We have
feet
2 tents as well,
by
don't we?
1, 2. Yeah, I guess. I think you have 3
I
tents.
think. Yeah.
One
So
for
you're
Spuriel, one for Mog and Zip, and then another tent
One
for
for the rest of the boys.
the rest.
Yeah.
Maybe like facing. We're like camped right in front of this like hole. Is that where we're like here? Oops.
My understanding was that you were not going to go right in front of it. Is that you wanted to go back into the forest a little bit?
Okay. I will. I guess. Nah, I can't. I was thinking about expending all of my fairy fires just in case, just to see if there's anything in the vicinity. But I don't think that's not gonna. Yeah. I won't do that just in case we're attacked.
Wait. Oh, okay. You're saying you're going to do that?
No, I was thinking about it just in case there was something there that we weren't paying attention to. But then if we're attacked at night, then I'm down 3 spell slots, which is not worth it. Okay.
All right. So you guys have set up your tents. You found enough of a clearing where you can sort of be huddled together. And the first watch is Spuriel again.
He was not volunteering for first watch this time.
Was not volunteering. Okay. Zip.
Yep, I'll go first.
Okay. Can you give me a perception check?
Ten.
10. Okay. So you're shivering and cold, and you've put on a brave face during the day that, like, I'm a drow, I know what I'm doing, but you have been traveling through thick, tough snow to get up here, and you're around this campfire, and you're just focused on how your toes are just starting to get the feeling back into them, because it is so cold. And you don't notice, because I rolled a 20 on the stealth check, not 20.
Oh.
Above you, a sudden blast of icy cold wind comes down, engulfing you and your companions in the camp. I would like everybody to, let's see, I guess everybody else is asleep, so they're going to fail this save, but they're inside, so they're going to take half damage. There is a blast of cold, so you can make a Constitution saving throw there, Zip.
21.
21? All right, so you managed to not be too hit by this cold. Let's see, this is 10d8. 4, 5, 6, 7. 17.
I mean, that's gonna wipe him
Yeah,
out.
it's going to be
Even a half damage.
party wipe.
Well, we tried, guys, but listen.
18, 18.
Wait, how much?
Do what you get.
How much damage?
And the 8, which averages like 40, and even a half damage is 20.
30.
Just depends on how we roll.
32 damage.
Yep.
Is the
32 damage.
32
Or-
damage, and anybody who's inside takes half, and Zip takes half. So everybody takes 16 damage.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. I was about to say goodbye.
16 damage.
Gotta adjust Mog's hit points here.
Oh, do we wake up or do we?
And yeah, you wake up, and Zip, you look up, and there is a white dragon flapping its wings, the size of a larger than a caribou, like not an enormous blocking out the sun-sized one, but like, somebody could ride on the back of it large enough. Like it's not a tiny little dragon. And it is now initiative time.
How big is the dragon compared to the hole?
Big enough to fit through the hole.
When you say it's like maybe like Clydesdale horse size in terms of
Sure.
I'm trying to get like a gauge of how big it is.
If you want like a size ranking for it, I believe it counts as a large creature, but I will double check.
It's a good
Yes,
thing.
it counts as a large creature. Okay, so initiatives from people. So we'll start off with Swell
3.
and Zip
8.
and Assam
14.
and Esporeal
15.
and Bug
7.
7. Okay, so it did its breath and then flies away. And now it's Esporeal's turn.
Esporeal sits bolt upright and grabbing his Kruthin stumbles outside trying to figure out what the heck is going on. He is going to cure wounds on himself first, or while he does this.
Okay.
And then, is going to, just check out what. And says, Zim, what?
Yeah, dragon.
And then it's going to look at the cave mouth and says, maybe take shelter in the cave? And we'll start to move that way.
Okay. You can't really see the cave entrance from here. You said you wanted to be back a ways from it, so you can look in its direction, but I don't think you'd have a line of sight on it, but sure. Start.
Where the nearest tree copse that far?
The nearest, like, you would have, when you break free from the copse, there's still like a distance to travel before you get to the cave entrance, and you went back into the tree line and then went until you found a clearing.
Okay.
Because
Well,
you
I thought
wanted to
we were
find a
in the
place where
tree.
all of you
I had
could-
the impression it was like 50 to 100 feet or something.
Yeah. I also thought we were in the trees, like in that little copse of trees. Yeah,
You were in the
entrance.
little copse of trees, yes. So you don't have line of sight on the thing, and that was just basically like once you come out of the copse of trees, you would see it there. So you couldn't see it because it's like the trees go up higher than the entrance.
Right.
How far
So-
away are we from them?
I'll say 120 feet from, well, let's say like from the edge of the, we'll give you 60 feet to the edge of the tree line, and then another 50 feet to the rim of the cave.
Then I'll move 30 feet in that direction.
Okay.
And we'll stay well away from everyone else, because let's not cluster up.
All right. Assam, you're up next.
Oh boy. So it's in the air, right? It's in the air.
You're in the bed.
I'm in the bed, so I'm prone, and I have to use my action to get up. And
Oh,
It's
Okay,
half your
okay.
move.
yeah, half my movement.
okay.
All right,
Move
so
15 feet then.
I will get up. That's half my movement, and it's what 100. You said 120 feet away. You said?
So I'll draw a little map here. If this is where you're camping, then there's the tree line. This would be 50 feet. No, I said that was 60 feet, and then another 50 feet to the cave opening over there.
Uh huh.
And these trees are really tall.
Okay.
But you guys found a spot like that, and it flew down and breathed from the air right down on top of you. So it's like, if you
Oh.
look up, there's like a narrow hole, a window in which you can sort of I don't know. I guess it's not that narrow because they're get pointier at the top, but you're
Okay.
sort of looking up at it like that from the point of the point of view of people on the ground.
Oh, okay, but it is in the air and it's above us.
You haven't seen it.
Oh,
You
I
do
have not
see
seen.
it.
Okay, I do not see it. So I'm gonna try to figure out what just happened to us because I guess I just woke up really cold. Like, whoa, what was that?
And you hear
then
somebody say dragon.
dragon. And so I guess I'm gonna look around and maybe look up afterwards, and I see it. I guess
No,
because that's no, I
you don't
don't.
have line of sight on it.
I don't.
No.
I will cast fairy fire and see if I can.
All right, you
it's-
pick a spot in the air, and you do not manage to grab it.
All right. And then I'm gonna move my next 15 feet next to any of the clerics, just in case they go down. I can, because I don't think I'll be able to. I don't have any things necessarily to help, so I'll move towards wherever Swell or Isboreal are, I guess.
All right, so you don't see Isboreal and Swell would be sleeping in the sort of same tent you were in, so maybe you're sort of hanging around where the tent opening was.
Okay.
You poke your head outside, you can see Isboreal is just barely made out of the tent.
That's it? Okay.
Well, he had to get up, so yeah, 15 feet of movement, and then he cast a spell. So
Oh, because we're in the tent. Wait. I would get out of the well. Okay, so I'm
You
in the tent. I would get out of the tent and then cast fairy fire in the air.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. In my mind, I'm actually not. I'm like not in a tent. I'm like meditating outside, and snow is like falling on. But that's not. But yeah. Okay.
fairy fire, by the way, it only
20
works on the
feet?
things that are already in the presence of its casting. So it's not like it sits there and then things that go through
Yeah.
it get affected by it
Anything you cast it on is like it's revealed when you cast it. It doesn't like
at the
stay
time
there.
of casting. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But you're getting used to the game and the spells and stuff, and that's how it
Yeah.
works.
Yeah. I mean, I
Yeah,
just thought. I
wanted to
thought.
let you know.
Yeah.
I mean, I was under the impression that I didn't see it because it wasn't visible.
Okay.
Or like it wasn't, there was literally no visual clarity, so I cast fairy fire on the premise that I would reveal it if it was there. But I mean, it's only a 20-foot cube, but at the same time, like we need visual of it. So if it was in that space, I would like to at least make the attempt because I don't have any other options. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, that's it. Just be around them, I guess.
How about Zip? You're up next.
So is the dragon gone then?
So it did sort of like a swoop by, like just, and then moved far enough over the treetops. It was fairly low to the ground when it made it that attack, but it's flown between the trees and gone off in a direction to the east.
All right. Well, I don't want to follow it. I don't really want to fight a dragon, so I guess I'll just try and wake up anyone who's not already up, like Bug, and just say, we have to get to the cave. There's a dragon, and it's being a jerk for some reason.
Is Boxy dead?
No? Wait, what?
Boxy
Yeah,
just
is
took
Boxy
an
like a frozen block or something?
yeah.
I'll pick up the
He's a magical
icicle
item.
box that is
Yeah.
Boxy, and I'll start carrying him.
All right.
And I'll move, I guess, like 30 feet away.
Alright.
But I don't want to get too far ahead of everyone.
Wait, when did Boxy turn into an icebox?
Well,
Everybody got hit with that ice blast of cold ice, so Boxy
And
was one of them.
Yeah, I gotta assume that Boxy has like 2 hit points.
Well, I
Being
don't know
attacked.
why you would assume that. He holds infinite worlds within himself. He's
He
pretty
has
powerful.
infinite hit points. Wait, and our tent
Infinite
is still
cosmic
intact?
powers.
There are
10
10. Is our tent still
DVD
intact?
living space.
Yeah.
Your tents are not really super well. I mean, you might be able to repair them afterwards, but right now they're looking in kind of rough shape.
Okay.
All right, so you guys are moving. You're 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 moving. You So, Zip, you want to spend your turn moving, basically, I think, is what you're saying.
Yeah, I'm gonna grab Foxy and I'm gonna move like toward the cave entrance, where I know
Okay.
the cave entrance is.
Okay, you move in that direction, and you are now like halfway across. And then it is that's Bug. Bug's next.
I'm gonna follow Zip, who's got Boxy, into the cave.
Okay, so you follow Zip and move 30 feet towards. Sorry. So you're also there. I've got a Zip and a Bug halfway there. It's Mog's turn. She is going to run. Yeah, I guess she'll run with you. Gonna run up alongside you guys. It's the dragon's turn. Give me a perception check, Zip and Bug.
13?
12.
So, you guys are like, let's see. Oh no, he gets +3. Okay, yeah, no, you guys don't hear anything or see anything. And then it is Swell's turn.
Does Swell hear anything with his passive perception of 8?
No.
I'm going to get up, realize everyone has fled, move towards them as far as I can, but try and keep myself, like, I don't think I'm going to be able to break cover with 15 feet of movement. I'll grab my stuff as well, like, I'll pick that up as I'm running. How far away are people from me?
So East Boreal and Assam would be sort of around the same place as you because they did actions when they got up.
Okay.
And then moved. Whereas Zip and Mog and Bug are a little further away because they just sort of... Yeah. Well, okay. Zip did something, but she didn't have to use any of her movement to...
I just didn't want to get too far ahead of everyone else.
Yeah.
Well, if there's 3 of us near each other, I'm gonna cast Bless at 2nd level. And 3 creatures of my choice.
2nd level, you get 4.
2nd level at higher levels. Okay, but I think. Oh, okay. So I can do it at 1st level because no one else is nearby. So I may as well just do it at 1st level. I see. Cool. Thank you. Playing a cleric for the first time. All right. So us 3, we're blessed. So you get to add a D4 whenever you make an attack roll or a saving throw while it's still up. Which, hey, it might go down in less than a round.
That includes you, Joe. I don't know if you caught that, but you're one of the people that just got blessed.
Okay.
But I'm going to try and stay near a tree so I can use it as cover potentially, depending on which direction this thing's coming from.
All right. And then it's gonna, if that ends your turn, we're gonna go to East Boreal.
Do the people who are close to me look like, how are they looking HP wise? Both ways?
Well, we all took a lot of damage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I'm saying, is everybody bloody, at least?
I'm bloody.
Yeah, I'm at half.
Okay. Whoever's closest is
That's gonna be Assam and Swell are the 2 that you can see.
Because Isboriel has known Swell for longer, he was going to... Apparently this is just a theme at the end of the day. Cure Swell.
Unconscious bias.
He is going to run by and just slap him on the back as he runs, and will cast Cure Wounds at first level on him. And then is going to move his full 30 toward the for the cave. And say, spit out. If it's a dragon, then it has a breath.
I forgot to check to see if it recharged.
That's 9 points back to you, so.
Thank you.
I also thought you were going to say that you were going to do it on Swell just out of force of habit. Because you cast it like 3 times the last fight, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Assam, you're up next.
Oh, actually, with his bonus action, he's going to and throw over his shoulder to Assam. Keep up, newbie, new boy, and that's a what I guess Bridge do.
Bardic inspiration just gives me what? Gives me.
You can add a d6 next time you want to make a roll for something, maybe, depending on what you want to roll.
Oh.
You have it
I mean,
for 10 minutes, so you
and then I can add that with bless too, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
They stack.
Okay, so we've all been hit. Does anyone look particularly super mega destroyed?
I mean, Espurial and Swell and you are the only 3 you can see right now.
Espurial actually looks pretty okay at the moment. Like, the frost kind of retreated from his fingers, and he's not looking blue-lipped or anything.
And the only reason why I can't see them is because we're in the
Middle of a forest, and he's not directly above you.
No, I mean, well, what about the rest of the cast? If I can only see just...
They've run further away into the forest. They're running towards the lair.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry, I was just reading my spell list. Some of these options. Okay. Oh boy. And I can't see the dragon. I don't know where he is.
You know the direction people ran, so like
Yeah,
if you wanted to follow them, you could go there.
Yeah, I'm gonna follow them, just in case anybody needs help. I'll just use. Are they really, really far? Should I?
No.
Do you think?
If you can catch up to all of them and still have an action, or you could run ahead of them if you want to do your full move.
I will. Because I can't. I would need to get into range to hold that. I'm gonna run and just meet up with them and maybe hold an action for.
To attack if you see something?
No, I was thinking of holding an action for Cure Wounds just in case somebody goes. I don't think anyone's going to go down necessarily. This is such an awkward position because I have mainly speaking with animal abilities up right now and like hold person and spike growth, which is all ground based stuff. So I think
if we get into the tunnel and force the dragon down if it wants to attack us,
that's
then
true.
spike growth would be more useful.
Honestly, kind of table talking, I would dash. Dash action.
Yeah, that's what I was also thinking, dash to catch up to them initially, but if I don't need to do that necessarily, because that would take my action too, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry, I don't want to...
No. I mean, if it would get me to them, then I would dash. If it would take me directly to them, then I would definitely dash.
You could get to them with a dash, no problem. You'd have some move left over if you wanted to go a little bit ahead of them.
Wait, did I not dash? Did I just run?
No, you dashed, but you had to stand up last turn.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Which takes up half your move.
Alright.
By the way, when I said mech-sized, I should definitely point out that was like the mech we were talking about for all of you guys to pilot. It's like 30 feet high, this entrance.
Okay, so I'm going to dash to them, and that just takes up my movement and my action, right? Which means I still have a bonus action?
Yep.
Then I'll cast Shillelagh just so that I have that, just in case I need to make a melee. I don't think I'll be able to make a melee attack at any point, but in case, it's there.
Alright. And then we're going to go on to Zip next.
Okay. I will still only run 30 feet because once again, I don't want to get too far ahead of everyone else.
I want to stop you there. When you get to 30 feet, you get to the edge of the tree line, and you see the entrance to the cave, and the dragon is there, like, just above it.
Right, I'm gonna talk to it. I'm gonna say, hey, what'd you do that for?
Okay, it responds. Do you speak Draconic?
No.
It's complete nonsense.
Alright, who else is up
What
the
did you
tree
say about
line?
my
Is it
mother?
just me?
You and Mog and like you're the only one that broke the tree line. Mog is right behind you, and Bug is right behind you, and you heard the rest of the party are catching up as well. But you're
Okay.
the first one to break the tree line.
I'll shout back to them, stay back! The dragon's guarding the cave. He's gonna blast us again. And I'll kind of like hold my arms out to maybe stop people from getting past me.
Okay. Are you gonna back up into the tree line a bit, or are you gonna stay out in the front?
I'll back up a little bit, but I want to make sure no one else gets past me.
Sure. After your turn, it's Bugs.
Is it so dragon is on the floor on the ground now? Or is it like
You heard Zip, who is like in the forest ahead of you, 30 feet, yell, "The dragon's up here, trying to block our entrance to the cave." That's what you know. You're 30 feet back.
Okay, I'm gonna run to where Zip is. And I see the dragon
Yeah, it's flying above the entrance.
flying above the entrance. I'm gonna ready my spell of. Wait, can I ready any spell?
If you ready a spell, you are able to you lose the spell at the end of the round if you don't cast it. Like you lose a spell slot.
Oh, okay. Can I guess I'm like, should I cast Earthbind? I can Earthbind it to the ground, but
I mean, it wouldn't hurt.
Yeah, you could
It'll
absolutely
be-
try and cast it.
Can you
Oh,
talk to it? Do you speak dragon language?
I don't.
How close do you have to be to Earthbind?
300 feet.
300 feet, yeah. So you're definitely within range.
It feels rude, you know. It's to make it sit down almost.
I mean, it was pretty rude that it like blasted you with ice breath while you're asleep.
That's
I feel
true.
like it has
Okay.
no decorum anyway.
I guess I'll do the Earthbind.
All right, what do I need to do?
Earthbind it. What is Strength 13 save?
You send the beams of energy of friendship. You want to protect your friends from this foe, and you channel from that starry constellation around your neck this energy, and it just shakes it off.
Oh, okay.
It is not affected, unfortunately. It's a good try, but I rolled a pretty high roll. I got a 20 final, so
Wow.
it is able to
Understand.
shake that off. And that's a move and an action, and unless you have a bonus action, we're going to go to Mog.
Yep, that's my turn.
All right. Mog is going to... Let's see. Mog's going to try and push past you, Zip. Are you going to let her past, or are you going to try and stop her?
Try and stop her.
All right, give me a strength check. Opposed strength check.
I got a 7.
All right, she pushes right past you and is now out in the open. So she's like about here. She was 30. Yeah, so she's like now 20 feet away from the dragon. It is the dragon's turn. Let's see if it gets his breath weapon back. It does not. Lucky for Mog. It's going to attack Mog.
Is dragon an animal? It's not an animal, right?
It is not an animal.
Okay.
Okay, so it lands down with a thump on top of Mog and just scrapes across her armor with its claws, but unable to puncture, but the bite sinks deep into her arms and just blood starts, red blood all over the white snow, and she takes a whole bunch of damage. She is
So
not
bad.
down, but she looks very injured. And then it is Swell's turn.
All right. So I guess I hear the dragon
Yeah.
up ahead and what people
Mog.
are saying.
Getting injured.
So I'll run up another 30 feet. Does that bring me? So I'm just. Can I see Mog? No, I guess I can't because I don't have dark vision.
You can see Mog because she's a dark shape on a like the way that this would be lit up at night. Like it's a snow field with white snow, and she's a dark shape on it. Like you couldn't, if you didn't know it was Mog, maybe I would make you make some checks to see if you could figure out who it was. But this is not hidden in the dark, right?
Right. Okay. Well. So they're what, like 30, 40 feet away from me?
So yeah, they would be 30 feet away from you.
Okay. I'm going to cast Spiritual Weapon
Okay.
at second level.
Okay.
Oh wait, I think it is. It is a second level spell. Sorry, never mind. And it's going to be like right next to the dragon, and as it comes, like it forms, it just like swings at its head. So, it's going to be a 19 to hit.
19. That's it.
To hit. Oh, I think Brian might have froze. Or did I freeze? Oh. Yeah.
Swell.
Hey, sorry, I think my connection froze there for a second.
Yeah, what was the damage on that?
I was about to roll it.
Oh, okay.
I rolled an 8 plus... I think it is... Yeah, so 11 points of force damage.
All right, there's a crackling of electrical energy, and this warhammer appears and thuds into it. It seems like it injured a bit, but it is not. Like it squirms, but is not seriously, hurt by that attack. So that was a bonus and a movement. Do you have an action?
I can't do anything else. Am I next to anyone? Like, did I get up next
Yeah.
to a spiritual? Oh, I guess I can't. No, because I cast spiritual weapon. I'll just bring my shield out because
Okay.
I think that's all I can really do.
I mean, you could move, or you could do a double move or something if you wanted to get up into melee.
I think he's a little bit wary of
All right.
that now. But anyway, it's my turn.
At the end of your turn, we go to East Boreal.
I did not see, but I heard it, right?
Yep.
So he's going to move up to the edge of the tree line, which he should be 5 feet away from. Can you see how far ahead is Mog?
Mog is 30 feet ahead. And then, yeah, 30 feet on a diagonal from you.
Okay, so he wouldn't be able to make it. He, however, is within a distance to... Yeah. So he's going to move up a little bit more to, like, maybe another 10 feet, so 15 feet total, and then he will cast Bless on Mog, first level on Mog, Zip, and Bug. Everybody gets a blessing.
Yay. And you get a bless. And you get a bless.
And you get a blessing. So that's his action.
What does the bless do again?
Adds a
D4
D4.
to attacks and saving throws. And then he will. Can you do that? Yeah. Okay. And then he is going to shout at the dragon. Hey! Why don't you get away from here, make like a tree, and get out of here? And that is going to be as negative inspiration. Or the unsettling words. So.
Do I get a saving throw for that?
No.
Okay.
Oh, stop.
So how does that work exactly?
It subtracts a d6 that I'm going to roll right now from his next saving throw. So he subtracts 4 from the next saving throw he makes before the start of my next turn.
Okay. And with
So
that,
he moved up 15 feet. He's going to move up another 15 at a different angle. So that he's just like spreading away from everyone else.
okay.
So I guess he's probably only like, in terms of distance to the cave, achieve like another 20 feet or so. And that's
So the line from the tree line to the cave would be, it's always going to be 30 feet.
okay.
But you can be on a different angle and a different approach.
Okay. So-
And would that end your turn?
Yeah.
Okay. Sam, you're up.
All right, so we are. So with my dash, did I make it? How far did I make it with that? I'm next to. I'm not in front of the cave quite yet, right?
No,
Or
if
am
you
I?
move like if you use your move action, you can be up at the edge of the tree line and you can see it from a distance.
I wouldn't be within 30 feet of it. No.
Yeah, that would take you within 30 feet of it.
Okay. So I will move up to that position, and
Actually, you'd have to break the tree line a bit because Mog is 30 feet and it's in the square opposite Mog, so you'd have to walk 5 feet into the space.
oh wait, but I have a moving speed of 35, so I think.
As long as you're willing to go in there.
There's literally no. I have like no actions that I could provide though, aside from.
Mog's looking pretty hurt.
Oh, Mog's hurt. Okay.
Yeah, extremely badly hurt.
Okay, I'm gonna run to Mog, and I'm gonna
Okay.
cast a cure wounds.
You can't reach her and cast.
Oh,
Oh.
okay.
Oh, right.
I will. I'll reach her completely,
Okay.
and I guess I'll just be my turn. I have no other options.
Okay. Zip, you're up next.
Oh, okay. Well, since everyone's just rushing on in, I guess I'll rush in too. Can I get within, like, what do you call it? What do you call it when you're opposite
Melee
someone?
distance? Or flanking?
Flanking, that's it, thank you. Can I get within flanking range with Mog?
No, because she's 30 feet ahead, so you could move yourself so she could put herself flanking with you next turn, though.
Okay,
So, like,
well,
if-
I guess I'll
if-
have to leave.
If she's here and the dragon's here, if you move 30 feet, you'd get beside Mog. You need to be on the other side of the dragon. So if you moved here, Mog could move here on her turn, and then you could both start getting advantage and circling
Okay.
around.
Well, I'll just move up and attack. I got a 25 to hit,
All right, that's a hit.
and that's.
You do
12.
not need to tell me the cold damage.
Okay, that's 12 regular damage.
Okay.
And I'll use my action surge to attack again.
Okay.
An 18 to hit.
That's a hit. Oh, sorry.
And
No. Wait, is it? Yes, it is.
6 damage on that one.
6 damage. All right. So you pull your icy sword from its sheath. More snowflakes in the dark night as it flickers across, and you cleave into the dragon with your sword. And it hurts it, but you can tell the chill damage does not seem to affect it at all. It's not worried about the cold. But Mog looks at you and gives you a nod like, yeah, we're gonna kill a dragon.
Murder a dragon.
And then it is Bug's turn.
I'm gonna. Am I 30 feet away from the dragon?
Yep.
I'm gonna cast Hideous Laughter.
All right, what's the saving throw?
Wisdom 13.
-4.
-4. Oh, okay. Let's see.
And wait, should I add my blessing? Or no, that doesn't work.
No.
I'm just kidding. I'm not rolling. That's fine.
So -4 really does save you here. It is starts cackling and laughing. It's this. I don't know if you've ever heard a dragon laugh before.
I can't say I have.
Oh my god.
Is he okay?
It's not okay.
Not good. And yeah, that is a terrible, terrible noise that's happening. It's rolling around. What does it mean when it's has hideous laughter? What is it? What is the effect?
It says it can't stand up, and it at the end of its turn, and each time it takes damage. I think it just can't do anything except laughing. But then end of its turn, it can make its wisdom saving throw.
Okay.
It is incapacitated and prone.
Yep.
Mog is going to sidestep with you, sister, and is going to attack with advantage, which is good because it gives her a crit hit on it.
Nice.
And she is also going to use her action surge to attack again. And she is only able to hit it.
She's blessed, isn't she?
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
So that should be a hit on the blessed one. But otherwise, there's some crummy rolls. So yeah, so that's one
It doesn't
crit.
say bless only applies to one attack, so you could add.
It applies to all.
Yeah, I just mean like only one was going to be close enough for the
okay.
D4 to make a damage, or D4 to make a difference. So that's one crit and one hit thanks to the bless, and 2 whiffs even with the bless. So I'll figure out the damage on that. It isn't going to bring it down. And then it's the dragon's turn to make a wisdom saving throw. It does not make the wisdom saving throw.
I think it
Bad
makes it at the
news,
end of its
dragon.
turn anyway.
Pardon?
It makes it at the end of its turn, doesn't it?
Yeah, so it's got a full round of you guys wailing on it now.
And when it takes damage.
Oh, and when it takes damage. So each
Oh, yeah,
turn.
and yeah.
So it got whacked 2 times, so it got 2 saves, and then it gets to make it again at the end of its turn.
Then it was true.
Well, I rolled a 4 and a 3 and a 1, so even adding his bonus is not going to help this dragon. Okay, this that spell has been very effective, Bug.
He hasn't
Nice
laughed
job.
in a while.
Yeah, he's only used to laughing evilly. He's not used to laughing happily, and it's just
Seriously.
like it's a weird feeling. He does not like it.
But it's kind of sad because it's the last time he's gonna laugh.
Oh, damn.
Savage.
I like that.
What a line.
East Burrow, you can take inspiration from Bug, I think.
You learn a true insult.
I was really empathizing.
Can the dragon take psychic damage from that?
Swell, you're going to be up, and I'm going to, while I calculate Mog's damage that she did.
Okay. So how far away am I from the cluster of people fighting this dragon now?
I forgot what you did on your turn.
I just moved up. I've moved up 45 now.
Like, were you at the tree line last round?
I think so, yeah. I was just inside it, like from the campsite, I've moved 45 feet.
Okay, so you're 15 feet to the edge, and then another 30 from the fight.
Okay. Well, bonus action, I'm going to have the hammer attack, the spiritual weapon attack.
Does it get advantage because the dragon's prone?
Yeah.
Is it a melee weapon? Is it a melee attack?
I don't know.
Doesn't it crit when it's
No.
melee and they're prone?
No.
It's a
That's
spell
paralyzed.
attack, but attacks against it have advantage, right?
I mean, it's a melee spell attack, isn't it?
It
You make a
definitely
melee
doesn't count
spell
for
attack.
flanking, but it could make
It's
a...
prone,
It's prone.
is the thing.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
but-
an automatic crit.
Oh, it's
No,
not automatic.
No.
It's a...
If they're
Get it.
unconscious. Never
Yeah.
mind.
So, Swell, go ahead and attack with advantage.
Okay, good, because I think I would have needed that.
Don't forget you're blessed too.
Yeah, that's much better. Okay, that's going to be a 25 total.
That's a hit.
Okay. And then 1d8. Another 8 on the dice, so another 11 points of damage. Do it.
All right.
And from where I am, I'll cast Healing Word on Mog, because she took a ton of damage at
Okay.
second level. He's going to get 2d4 plus. He gets 10 points back.
Okay. Great. East Burrell, you're up next.
Okay. How is Mog looking? How is everybody looking, actually? Is anybody obviously bloody?
Indeed, but okay.
Mog is still bloodied.
I'm bloodied.
Okay. Bug, where are you?
I am 30 feet away from the tree.
Okay. I should be able
I'm
to
by
get to you
the.
then.
I think right next to in front of the woods, right?
Yeah, you can move to him and then still stay in the woods, and you won't have to use more than a move to get to Bug.
Okay. He had actually left the woods, but he can double back, and will hit Bug up with another Cure Wounds. So that's 10 points of healing to him, and then he will. He's going to look at the dragon and say, "And while you're down there, why don't you roll over and take your kicks like a good little puppy?"
Good
And that will be another unsettling word. So whatever his next saving throw is, it's a -2.
Okay. I just did my saving throw for Swell's damage, and the dragon is no longer laughing. But there's another saving throw that it will have a disadvantage on.
Right.
You can take that back if you don't want to do that, if that was
No.
why you wanted to keep doing it.
I mean, it is, but also there's still probably good use. So
Okay. Then it's going to be Assam's turn.
Okay, is Mog still super hurt? Because I know we just.
She's below half.
Oh. Is anyone else in more dire straits than she is? That I can visually see. Boya is.
I just
Book.
got.
Oh, you just got healed. That's right. I'll just also add another cure wounds. You know what? I'll cure wounds at second level, just so that I literally have no spells worth. Six, 4, 10, 14.
To Mog?
Mm-hmm.
Or to... Okay.
To Mog.
She's like, thanks! Does that end your turn?
I guess. I mean, I don't want to I'm not gonna frontline this. I don't know anywhere else to move. Yeah, I'll just stay put. And if.
Alright, then we're gonna go to Zip. You're up next.
All right. So
You have
we're
advantage.
flanking. Yeah. Okay. Oh, I got a nat 20. So
Heck yeah.
that is 13 damage
Okay.
on that hit. And then I might just use my second wind to get some hit points back,
Okay.
just in case.
At the end of your turn, it's Bug's turn.
I'm gonna go further into the forest, maybe like 50 feet away. Like
You won't be able to see anything from 50
Oh, I
feet
won't be
away.
able to see anything if I go like a little bit in.
Yeah. If you go like 5 feet in, sure, but if you go in 50 feet in, not a chance.
Not 50 feet in. I mean like 50 feet away from the dragon. So 20 feet in.
Yeah, no. You gotta be right on the edge. Otherwise, you can't really
Okay.
see much.
I'll be right on the edge, and I'm gonna do Eldritch Blast.
All right. Roll the hit.
21.
It's a hit.
6 damage.
All right. This thing is getting battered and smashed by you guys. It's twisting and turning in agony, frustrated, angry as all heck. It is so unhappy with what's going on. It is Mog's turn.
Hey, this
Mog
thing
is attacking.
chose violence. It woke us up and chose violence.
It did choose violence.
It woke us up and chose violence. Yeah.
He chose violence too.
Hey, I did try to talk to it, but I didn't speak its language, so I gave
Yeah,
up.
Mog doesn't speak Draconic either.
He speaks
Believe that we chose violence.
Axe language.
You guys all picked Sylvan. I don't know what's going on with you. So that's one hit for Mog. Even with the bless, she only had one hit. And it is now going to be the dragon's turn. It is going to fly away. So Zip and Mog, you both get attacks of opportunity
Oh yeah.
at advantage. With a bless.
Dirty 20 to hit.
Mog misses.
That's 7 damage.
7 damage. All right. And then it flies back further into the cave.
Oh,
Fool. That's the way we're going.
is it? Do you think that he lives in the cave?
Probably, yeah.
That's where dragons live.
Oh,
They like caves.
I guess that makes sense.
Mog cracks her neck a little.
Should we press on
I mean,
and
we
get
have-
it? Because we're going that way anyway. We might as
This
well
is-
just like,
We're in it now.
yeah, we might as well press our advantage.
Wait, oh yeah.
Anybody
We're
have
pretty
any
sure this
potions?
is the mech cave, right? I mean, unless
mean-
it's
Think?
not.
Yeah.
I mean, the
It's a
mech-shaped
mistake.
hole in the rock should be a dead
There's no mech shape,
They're so perfectly like boxy and
but
robotic.
but it's not mech shaped, is it?
It is not mech shape. Zip is
No.
just being silly.
It's like we go in and it's just a dragon's cave. It's not our tomb. We just assumed. No, we should go in.
All
I
right.
guess. Yeah.
When Mog was snapping her neck, that was her using her second wind.
Okay. Wait, so are we out of initiation then?
We're out of we're not out of initiative, so it's up to you
Initiative.
guys. So next turn it is Swell's turn. So it flew away, and Mog's thing will happen on her turn. But basically, you can have had that quick conversation where it was like, "Are we going after? Should we press the advantage?" Zip says,
No, like, yeah, I think we should do it. And
What do you do?
I'll move up close enough to cast Cure Wounds on Zip at first level. Actually, how bad does she look?
I mean, she's not too bad, but she's still injured.
Okay. And Mog, on the other hand?
"Mog's looking pretty good. She's got
yeah,
a few heals."
I'll move up and cast Cure Wounds on you, Zip, at first level, so you get back only 5 hit points, I'm afraid, but better than
That'll
nothing.
do.
That's more.
And keep heading towards the mouth of the cave.
All right, the cave. Yeah, when you get up close to it, you're seeing like it's pretty jagged ice in the actual cave passages and stuff. And moving through it, you guys will be moving at half speed in order to, like, it's considered rough terrain. It's like, trying to move across a slick ice field. But it is 10 o'clock at night in Eastern Standard Time, so I want to check in with people how they're feeling about pressing the advantage now or next week, or possibly doing a fill-in weekend game or something.
Well, I'm feeling pretty tired. I don't know if I could go for too much longer.
I think this might be a good place to put a pause on it until next time.
All right.
Good.
I wanted to make sure you guys got a dragon battle in before, before
We
this
have
got
had
too
dungeons,
far.
We have not had dragons, so
Yeah.
necessary. So,
All right, then. We're going to call it there. Thanks for joining us for another adventure of drawing with friends. And may all your marks be magical. Good night, everyone.
Good night. Thank you.
Night.
Right.
Bye.